Poverty just a blew their mind. See, poverty a bloody youth their mind. Welcome to this channel. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you with me. I want to appreciate your presence here. Thank you in the name of the Lord. We want to talk about poverty. Before we continue, subscribe, listen, and share. I will explain how poverty is a problem in this community. I want to explain how people are being affected by poverty. I want to show you how there are some people who are absolutely poor in this society, who do not know even when they will get their next meal. Then after that, you need to do something about your condition as a person. You need to free yourself. You need to free yourself. You need to free yourself from poverty and look for something that can elevate your life as from now onwards. Thank you, and may God bless you. According to World Health Organization, poverty is hunger. Poverty is lack of shelter. Poverty is being sick and not being able to see a doctor. Poverty is not having access to schools. Poverty is not having access to books. Poverty is not having a job. Poverty is the fear of living for your future, and you are living in constant fear, and you are just living one day at a time. You are living like a junkie. Up to there, I am clear, and I will continue, and I don't fear. Thank you so much. It has many faces, what we call poverty. It is changing from place to place and across time, and has been described in many ways. Most often, poverty is a situation where people want to escape, and nobody wants to stay poor. Even a small child does not want his father to be poor. Even a old grandma does not want his granddaughter to be poor. Even a pregnant woman does not want his husband to be poor. Because poverty is a call to action. And that's why we are here today to talk about poverty. It is a call to action for the poor and the weak, for the poor and the wealthy alike, for the strong and the weak. A call to change the world so that many more may have enough to eat, many more may have adequate shelter, many more may have adequate education, many more may have access to adequate education and health, and will be protected against violence and a voice of what is happening in their community. The society have no use for the weak. The society we are living has no use for the poor person. The starving children and their parents are simply food. You hear the song that is going around in radio, that I am me, I don't care. I know it is not fair, but I am a millionaire. People exposing their millions that they have, and they are saying with their mouth and their tongue, they are confessing that they do not care. Poverty is a complex societal problem that has no standard definition because it's a complex and a complicated concept to understand. We see people being evicted with impunity from their residential places. We see floods affecting places like Kano, and mothers crying, serikali tafadhali saidia, kila kitu imeenda na maji, hata bwana yangu ameenda na maji. Mimi nakuja kama bunduki, nakuja nikikimbia. Recently, just 2 days ago, there was fire in Ambakasi. Those people who succumbed are the poor people who have no adequate places to live. It is a problem requiring everyone's attention, and it is time that we speak out. We cannot listen. We cannot keep on looking while people are dying in poverty. It looks different across the world, but it is the same. It is requiring everyone's attention. It is important that all members of our society work together to provide opportunity for all members to reach their full potential. And it will help over all of us if we can help one another. Let us not stand aside and pull the strings and act like we are laughing at the poor people. Who said I was not among them? Who said I was not poor? And nowadays I see the stickers being put in even matatus. They say that money is like AIDS. No one wants to accept that he has money. Like everyone wants to deny that he has AIDS. Even those people who have money, they don't want to accept. Meanwhile, they're just standing aside and pulling the strings and they're laughing at the poor. That is not the way to go. I condemn such kind of behaviors. When we see the pictures in our TVs, when we hear about poverty, we only associate it with people living in Kibera. slums, malnourished children, having nowhere to stay, having nowhere to live. But it is a complex situation. It's affecting everybody, all races, all ethnicities, all ages. Today it is that poor person you see. Tomorrow it will be your grandchild who will be poor. So you better stand with us and do something about poverty today so that you can change the world. That's cost a lot to be kind. For many individuals living in poverty, their lives are characterized by many things. They have low wages, they have no income, there's a lot of unemployment, people staying in home, people engaging in activities that are crime. Youth end up being criminals because of poverty. A lot of underemployment that is going on, and little property ownership. Even the little that you have, somebody wants to take it away because you have no voice. Because they know you have no savings. There's lack of food reserves in you. And your ability to meet even the most basic needs is in constant jeopardy. So therefore you have feelings of helplessness and dependency, and you are engaging in addictions and inferiority that develops each and every day around you because of your conditions. You are in absolute poverty, which is referred to amount of money necessary to meet your basic needs. What you need to have only for today is your food, your clothes, and a shelter where to stay. And you are not concerned with the broader quality of life that everybody's living. You are not concerned whether people are treating you as an equal, but it is because you are in absolute poverty. What you strictly want is whether your basic needs will be met. Example of this basic need. You do not know, you do not care, not knowing, you don't know where your next meal or where or when your next meal will come from. Not knowing where and how your next meal will come from. You do not know how, where, when you will get your next meal. So long as you have that rice. Ghetto story. I remember them days when I ate rice and honey. All you ever ate was white rice and honey. That is just for lunch. You do not know when and where will be your next meal. You do not have access to clean drinking water, not having an adequate place to sleep each night. That is what poverty is. For those who are rich and do not know what poverty is. So we have those people who are a bit, we call them the relatively poor. And we refer to them as those who lack of resources, those who are in lack of resources to obtain the type of diet and participate in activities and have the living conditions and amenities that are customary to maintain the average standard of a living in a society. And these people, we define their poverty in relation to the economic status of other members of the society. Therefore, we refer to them by determining if people are poor by gauging if they fall below the normal standard of living in a given society. We gauge them with other people. Can they take their children to schools like McKinney schools? Can they take their children to school like any other group of schools? If they cannot, then they are poor. Can they afford vacations in Maldives? Can they afford vacations every December? If they can't, then they are poor. Example is not being able to take your children, participate in after-school activities, or to take your children to vacations. Not being able to dine out every weekend. Poverty is real, it is sad, and it is happening. Let us shout out in the hilltops so that people can know that there are some people who are suffering in there, so that people can reach out. May you be blessed abundantly for being kind today. Just take your time and be kind. Just reach out for somebody who is suffering. Just lend a hand to somebody who is lacking. I know what it is to lack today because I am in that place. I am in that situation I'm experiencing right now. Be blessed. Reach out. Thank you. Subscribe and thank you so much.